Awesome. All right, unmute and, ask questions if you have any. Feel free to turn your camera on or off as well. Come up to the front of the mat. I have all kinds of lights. Let's see here. Sorry. I don't think it's going to help with that bright sunlight, but oh well. Come up to the front of the mat, feet touch. Opening chant, inhale. Vande Gurunam Charanaravinda Sandarashita Svatma Sukhavabode Nishreyase Jangalikaimane Samsara Hala Hala Mohashantiye Abahu Parusha Karam Shankachakrasi Darinam Sahasra Shirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Jalandhara Bandha. Next inhale, walk or jump. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up. Samastati. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Mula Bandha is root lock. Uddiyana Bandha is flying upward lock. It's around the belly button. And Jalandhara Bandha is water pipe lock. That's around the chin, base of the neck. Next inhale, walk or jump. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up. Samastati. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands forward. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Drishti is the belly button. Listen to the Ujjayi pranayama. Listen to the breath. Next inhale, walk or jump. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up. Samastati. Bending the knees. Inhale, up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right foot. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left foot, inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. When you do all three bandhas at once, it's called Maha Bandha, meaning big bandha. It's the trifecta. Next inhale, walk or jump. Exhale, fold. Inhale up, knees bend. Samastatihi. Inhale, knees bend. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right foot, inhale, warrior. Exhale, plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left foot, inhale, warrior. Exhale, plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Strong bandhas, strong quadriceps. Arms and legs work equally. Bandhas stay on. Use an inhale, walk or jump. Exhale, fold. Inhale up. Hips drop, hands touch. Samastatihi. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right foot, inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left foot, inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Next inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up. Samastatihi. It's an inhale, open the feet, grab the big toes. Exhale, elbows bend, Padangustasana. Same Mahabandha, Drishti is the belly button. It's an exhale, hands under the feet. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, elbows bend, Padahastasana, wide fingers, 3 bandhas. Drishti is a belly button. On an inhale, arms get straight. Press into the backs of the wrists there. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, come up. Samastatihi. It's an inhale to open for triangle. Utthita Trikonasana. Exhale down. Beautiful. Next inhale, come on up. Exhale, second side. Utthita Trikonasana. Strong bandhas, equal strength throughout the entire posture. It's an inhale to come up and rotate. Parivrtta Trikonasana, left hand to the floor. Strong Mula Bandha, nice Ujjayi Pranayama. It's an exhale when you look at your bottom hand. Inhale, travel up, windmill over. Exhale down, right hand toward the left foot. It's an exhale to look at the bottom hand. Inhale, travel up and open. Samastatihi. It's an inhale to open for extended side angle. Utthita Parsvadhanyarasana. Legs are like warrior. Bandhas stay on. It's an inhale up. Exhale, side two. Utthita Parsvadhanyarasana. Strong Mula Bandha, steady drishti, beautiful breath. It's an inhale up, rotate Parivrtta Parsvadhanyarasana. It's an inhale up, exhale, side two. Mula Bandha. It's an inhale up. Samastatihi. Hands are on the hips. Inhale, open. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, elbows bend. Prasarita Padottanasana A. Strong quadriceps. Nice strong Mula Bandha. On your own inhale, arms straight. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, come up, look up. Exhale, look forward. Inhale, open. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. It's your own inhale, up. Exhale, look forward. Inhale, open. Exhale, interlace the hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold over. It's an inhale, up. Hands move to the hips. Exhale, look forward. Inhale, hands stay on the hips. Exhale, first two fingers take the big toes. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, elbows bend. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, come up. Samastatihi. It's an inhale, open. Parsvadhanyarasana. Hands up the back in prayer. Head toward the right leg. Next inhale, up. Exhale, side two. Strong Mula Bandha. Steady drishti. Next inhale, up. And open. Samastatihi. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, arms straight. Exhale, plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Through jump, Dandasana. Feet are flexed. Strong bandhas. Chest is lifted. So an exhale, first two fingers take the toes. Inhale, arch. Exhale, fold. Paschimottanasana A. We're going to do A, B, C. Drishti is the belly button, or in that direction. On an exhale, hands take the sides of the feet. The thumb is at the front side of the foot at the base of the big toe. Inhale, arch. Exhale, fold. Paschimottanasana B. If you really power up your quadriceps, it almost lifts you a little bit up off of your thighs, but it's worth it. It really, you can feel it kind of stretch more across the sacrum and the lower back. On an exhale, switch to your third hand position, whatever you want that to be. Inhale, arch. Exhale, fold. Paschimottanasana C. Intense west stretch, number 3. Strong quadriceps, strong mula bandha. On your own inhale, arch. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, jump back. Nice vinyasa. Through jump, Parsvadhanyarasana. Feet are together, knees are straight or tabletop. Feet are apart, knees are bent. It's an exhale, sit down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, jump back. Inhale through jump. Seated half bound lotus, right foot first. Strong left quadricep. Try to keep Mula Bandha on. It's an inhale, arch. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, jump back. Second side. Left foot, seated half bend lotus. Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. Next inhale, arch, exhale, release. Through jump, after the vinyasa, right knee folds. Strong Mula Bandha, strong left quadricep. Trianga Mukha Ekapada Paschimottanasana. It's an inhale, arch. Exhale, release. Side saddle, jump back. Left knee folds, Trianga Mukha, Ekapada, Paschimottanasana, second side. Strong Mula Bandha, strong right quadricep. It's an inhale, arch. Exhale, release. I wish I could invite everyone into my body for a practice. Usually I'm wanting to invite myself into your body for a practice, but it would be good if we all had a chance in various bodies. Danyarasana A, it's an inhale, arch. Exhale, release. Danyarasana A, second side. Left foot in against the right thigh. Strong quadricep on the straight leg. Beautiful breath. It's an inhale to arch. Exhale, release. Danyarasana B. Through jump, sit down onto your right heel. It's an inhale, arch. Exhale, release. Inhale through jump, sit down onto the left heel. It's an inhale, arch. Exhale, release. Danyarasana C. Ball of the foot on the floor. I'm sorry, Danyarasana C. Take 5 breaths, then it's an inhale, arch, exhale, release. Danyarasana C, second side. Hi, Amber. Strong quadricep on any straight leg every time it's straight. Strong mula bandha all the time. First thing I check on when I get in a posture. It's an inhale, arch, exhale, release. Danyarasana A. Right knee is up, right arm wraps the right shin. Use an exhale when you lower down. Quadricep on the left leg is super strong. It's an inhale, open the shoulder against the shin. Exhale, release. Side 2. Right foot is extended, left knee is up. The left arm wraps that left shin. On an inhale, arch, open the shin, the shoulder against the shin. Exhale, release. Danyarasana B, left foot is tucked, right knee is up. Or left foot half lotus, right knee is up. It's an inhale when you arch, open the shoulder against the shin. Exhale, release. Side 2, Danyarasana B, right foot tucked or right foot half lotus. It's an inhale, arch. Exhale, release. Danyarasana C. Right knee is up, twist around it. Strong quadricep on the left leg, strong Mula Bandha. Beautiful. Drishti is at eye level as far as you can take it. It's an inhale, look forward. Exhale, release. Side two, left knee up, right arm across it. Strong quadriceps, strong Mula Bandha. It's an inhale, look forward. Exhale, release. Danyarasana C again, or Danyarasana D. Right knee up, left foot half lotus or tucked. It's an inhale, look forward. Side two, right foot tucked or right foot half lotus, left knee up, twist around it. It's an inhale, look forward. Exhale, release. Vinyasa to Pashasana. Squatting, knees together, bind both knees. Maybe your heels are on the floor, or knees apart, bind the left knee, twist right. If you're going to bind one, it's going to be more of an open twist than if you bind two. Nice, 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 Ginger, nice. Inhale, look forward. Everything is 5 breaths, so if you need to stay a little longer, or if you're mildly, so mildly suffering that you want to come out before me, go for it. I know you're not suffering. Nice. It's an inhale, look forward. Exhale, release. Take your vinyasa. Left knee folds. Crown Shavasana. The left leg is just like Trianga. We'll do 10 breaths. So 5 open, Crown Shavasana A, and then 5 closed, Crown Shavasana B. It's an exhale, head to the leg. Strong quadricep on the high leg. It's an inhale, look at the foot. Exhale, out. Side 2. Right knee folds. Crown Shavasana A. Fold in, head to the leg, strong quadricep, Crown Shavasana B. It's an inhale, arch. Exhale, out. Beautiful. Lie down onto your belly, Shalabhasana A. Palms face up, fingers are wide, feet are high, maybe together. I'm trying to lift my knees off the ground. Forehead is super high, drishti is to the floor, past the nose. Strong Mula Bandha. Pull the hands forward, flip over the fingertips, press back, Shalabhasana B. It's an inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lie down onto your belly. Bekasana, frog posture. You can do one at a time. Feet come down toward the floor right next to the hips. Or you can do both. Head is high. Drishti is low. It's an inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lie down onto the belly. Danyarasana Full Bow. Hands are on the outside edges of the shins. Thumbs point down. You can have your feet together or your toes together or not together at all. Head stays high. It's an inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lie down onto the belly. Inhale, lift up into bow again. Roll to the right shoulder, Parsvadhanyarasana. It's an inhale up and through and roll to the left shoulder. Parsvadhanyarasana, side 2. Five more breaths up. And release. Up dog, down dog. Come over onto the shins, Ustrasana. Tailbone tucks in between the femurs. Mula Bandha. Up and out. Laghu Vajrasana, little thunderbolt. Up and out. Kapotasana, A and B. I've been using my small wheel to open up my back bend. Today I'm going to use my larger wheel to open up my shoulders. Nice. Up and out. Supta Vajrasana. So that last crazy back bend posture is actually called pigeon. That's what Kapotasana means. So when I'm in a vinyasa class and I say American pigeon and we do that really comfortable thing with the knee forward, that's why I call it American pigeon, because in Ashtanga, that crazy, crazy, crazy beautiful stuff is pigeon. So either full lotus or fake lotus. Maybe you have a person to help you. Reach around the back, grab that person's hands. And then go down onto the head, 5 breaths. Up and down 5 times. Down for 5 more. Up and out. I did a new modification on that and it really stretched out the front of my neck, which was hilarious. Vinyasa into crane, Bakasana. Frog is Bakasana, crane is Bakasana. Exhale, plank. Up dog, down dog. Second one more crane. You're welcome to jump in. It's an exhale out. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left knee folds like Trianga. Right foot half lotus. Parsvadhanyarasana. Claire, I love you. I can't believe I'm looking at you. Yesterday I was talking to you in my head. So if you're ever like, I just lost my train of thought, what's going on? I apologize. Nice. Hi, Maureen. Yeah. Yes. It's an inhale to look forward. Exhale, release. Right knee folds like Trianga. Left foot half lotus. All modifications or variations or inventions are awesome. The way you know if it's a good variation is whether or not you can keep Mula Bandha on and your breath stays rhythmic. Don't let my words fool you. My breath does not stay rhythmic throughout my practice. Some of the postures just about, tie me up too tightly. After 5, it's an inhale, look forward. Exhale out. Ardha Matsyendrasana. So your left foot is crossed and next to your right hip. So if you haven't done this before, find your left foot, and my right hip is trying to climb into my ear, which it can't reach that either. But anyway, maybe your hip is down. And then on the front, that right foot crosses the left knee, and the kneecap and the ankle are the same, they're in the same plane. So the foot, maybe 3 to 5 inches of the foot hangs off the front. Then twist around. Back hand takes the back thigh. It's an inhale, look forward. Exhale out. Ardha Matsyendrasana. The right foot is next to the left hip. And the left knee is up in the air. The left ankle and the right kneecap are in the same line, and the foot hangs like a little flag off the front of the posture. Twist across. It's an inhale, look forward. Exhale, release. Vinyasa, and then I'll tell you some choices. The first choice is always the same choice. Do whatever you want. The second choice is you might want to do leg behind the head and continue on with that sort of hip opening, leg behind the head stuff. Or you might want to jump ahead and do forearm stands, because we're going to go into closing sequence in a few minutes. Or you might want to work on anything you're working on because you're so warmed up. Or you might want to jump into your back bends. So either leg behind the heads. You only have multiple heads if you're lucky. So all the legs behind all the heads possibility, or back bend possibility, or any inversion possibility. Hi, Emily. Nice leg behind the head. I see you, Eliza. Nice, Amelia. Monica and Bill, you guys were so little I couldn't see you until just now. Looks like you're doing great though. Totally having fun. Nice. Bill, I get it. I get it. Nice, Maureen. I can't believe, Shayna, I can't believe you guys all chose leg behind the head. I think I am going to be choosing handstand. Hmm. Nice, Ginger. And whatever you're working on, when you feel like that part has been explored thoroughly, then you can go on into your back bend sequence. Nice, nice scorpion. I've been doing back bends over on my couch. I do the drop back part of the back bend above my couch so that if I go too far, I land on padding. And then I use the wall and open up my shoulders. That's been my latest strategy for back bend. After back bend is a nice forward bend. Nice, Eliza. Hi, Marga. And then we'll go through closing sequence. Let's do 15 breaths in, feet in the air, shoulder stand. You guys, I really love, like it's sustaining my life. Love getting together like this and practicing. It's an exhale into plow, halasana. It's an exhale into ear squeeze. Inhale up, exhale into lotus. Urdhva Padmasana. Exhale down, Padmasana in a little ball, Pindasana. It's an exhale to roll down. Matsyasana. Extend Uttanapadasana. Optional Chakrasana. Shirsasana. So an exhale down, legs parallel to the floor. Inhale, legs up. Exhale down, Balasana. Vinyasa, Vada Padmasana. Hi, Sparkles. Sprinkles. Hi, Sprinkles. Padmasana. Tolasana or Uttiplutihi. I love you, Shayna. Bye, honey. And Shavasana. I just turned around like a dog. Nice Shavasana. You might need a blankie. Did I say blankie? I did. I didn't mean to. I meant to say blanket, but it just came out that way. So I've been reading At the 11th Hour. It's a biography of Swami Rama, and it's written by a guy. He came to Yoga Vermont and did a workshop. His name is Panditji, and his official name is Pandit Rajmani Tingunait, Tigunait, Tingunait. I don't know how to say the last name. So on page 41 is where I'll start. In the company of such scholars and his friends at the university, Boli was growing into adulthood. He was fully involved in the world around him. He experienced the stress of exams and felt pressure from his peers to participate in their social life. At the same time, he was constantly being reminded of the higher purpose and meaning of life. Boli had been welcomed into Professor R.D. Rodney's inner circle and had an opportunity to observe him closely. He found that, intellectually stimulating as it was, Professor Rodney's company was even more spiritually stimulating. He was a living example of how to live in the world and yet remain above it. Rodney was always busy writing books, giving lectures at the University of Allahabad and other universities, and overseeing his ashram in Maharashtra. But despite all this activity, Boli saw in him a mystic who transcended the realm of intellect. Rodney possessed a startling clairvoyance. Boli often saw him reply to a stack of letters without opening them. And one day, on the spur of the moment, he started to talk about a very private aspect of Boli's life, his relationship with Babaji, and how Babaji loved him, and what Babaji expected of him. Professor Rodney spoke of some of Boli's experiences with Babaji as though he had been right there when they happened. And when Boli asked how he knew about those things, Rodney replied, "Why not? I am him, he is me. We are in each other." When Boli asked, "Will I be able to experience the same? And will people and events become as transparent to me as they are to you?" Rodney replied, "That great master does not want you to waste your time with fortune tellers. Riding the wave of my own inner joy, I uttered those words, and perhaps it was due to the wish of that great one who made the arrangements for you to be with me." Being with Professor Rodney helped Boli remain aware of his higher goal of life, despite all the attractions and distractions the world had to offer. By watching this great man, Boli was fully convinced it was possible to be both a scholar and a mystic, to be successful in the world and maintain a spiritual life. Later, when Boli mentioned Rodney to his master and asked how he reached such a high state of realization, Babaji said simply, "Practice." "Can you teach me what to practice and how to practice?" Boli asked. "I was waiting for the day when you would ask me about practice," his master replied. "Go to Darjeeling. Outside the city, there is a stream. And on the bank of that stream, there is a cremation ground. No matter what happens, for 41 days, you should not, for 41 days, you should do a particular practice, which I am going to teach you. No matter how much your mind attempts to dissuade you from completing the practice, you should not leave that place. Boli found this exciting. Darjeeling was one of the most beautiful places in the eastern Himalayas. What a great way to spend his vacation, doing practice in such a place. Furthermore, that cremation grounds on the outskirts of the city is where Boli Baba's brother disciple, the Prince Swami, popularly known as Bawal Sainasi, was supposed to have been cremated, but where Babaji brought him back to life instead. Boli went to Darjeeling and began his practice at the cremation ground. Following all the disciplines and observances he prescribed, that were prescribed by his master, he undertook the practice and continued it for 38 days, but he did not see any result. On the 39th day, a powerful thought came to his mind. What a waste of time. I have disconnected myself from the world and am living here in this lonely place. My master has told me that when I have completed the practice, I will see marked growth in myself, and that I must not give it up before the 41st day. And he warned me not to be swayed by the suggestions of my mind. But I wonder, if nothing has happened in 39 days, why expect anything to happen in the next 2? Boli pondered this a while and decided it was better not to waste any more time with this practice. So he poured a bucket of water on the kunda, the sacred fire, and destroyed the little thatched hut where he had been living. Wrapped in a woolen shawl, he walked to the city and wandered through the streets. Suddenly, he heard a woman singing from an upper window. There is very little oil in the vessel of life, and the night is vast. The drummer accompanying her kept the beat, a sound which resembles a Sanskrit word that means shame on you. Dak, 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 dak. Boli was overwhelmed, sure that this sweet and meaningful song was coming from the Divine Mother, whom he had seen years ago in the temple of 64 yoginis. He felt as though the dak, 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 dak of the tabla was coming from his master, Professor Rodney, and all the sages who had bestowed their blessings on him so selflessly and lovingly. He was profoundly ashamed and went back to the cremation ground, completed his practice, and was blessed with the outcome as predicted by his master. This experience showed Boli how tricky the mind is and how cleverly it convinces our reason and conscience to surrender to the charms and temptations of the world. It was also a lesson in patience. Tend the plant with faith, and it will mature and bear fruit. And through it, Boli learned, to exercise his power of will and determination. Once embarked on a journey, do not turn aside until you reach your destination. Later, his master would ask him from time to time, Baholia, what was that mother singing? There is very little oil in the vessel of life, and the night is vast, Boli would reply. And his master would say, well said. The woman's song had acted like dynamite. Through its agency, Swamiji later realized the teacher within him woke up and put him back on the right path. Contemplating the words of the song, he realized that there is indeed very little oil in the vessel of life. Life is short, and the journey is long. He saw that before the body falls apart, we must reach the goal or suffer a great loss. And his logical mind surrendered to the power of faith. He surveyed his past, assessed his present, and understood how fortunate he was to be raised by this great master, Babaji. This and hundreds of similar experiences enabled Boli to understand the true meaning of love and its transformative effect on our overall development. And after seeing his master as an embodiment of selfless love, he no longer had the desire to see God in a personified form. He always proclaimed through his lectures and writing that love is the Lord of life. And as an embodiment of this love, Babaji was the Lord of Swamiji's life. Whenever anyone asked him about his master, all he would say was, "He is my mother, father, friend, guide, and guru. Whatever I am is because of him. He gave me everything, but did not even ask for a glass of water from me. I did not find any appropriate word for addressing him, so I called him my master." Swamiji was by no means an emotional man, yet even in the normal course of conversation, if someone reminded him of his master, he could hardly say more than a sentence or two before drifting off into the realm of memory. In 1933, during his last visit to the United States, in 1993, that makes more sense. During his last visit to the United States, Swamiji said, "All I have is the gift of love, which I received from my master and other sages. That same gift I offer to you." There is no way we can begin to understand or appreciate the gift that Swamiji offered to the world unless we know the source of this love, his master, and how his master bestowed this love onto Swamiji. That's a good book. Does anyone have anything to talk about, or any comments, or anything you want to say or share?
Hi, hold on.
Hi, Mireya.
How are you? Hold on.
Very nice. Very good. I have a new battery in my car.
Oh, really? Oh,
Mm-hmm. Starts every time now.
good. So, do you think that, why do you think it's so important in the yoga tradition to, it seems from what I hear, that to learn from your teachers? Like, is it a tradition that was mainly taught by, I mean, it's something that is hard to learn with a book, right? Or
Yeah, but not to make it too big of a deal. Basketball is hard to learn with a book also, you know, or fencing, or, I mean, there's just, most things are most easy, even music, you know, there's like a feeling that goes with music. People who read sheet music really well, sometimes they can get the feeling off of the sheet music, but sometimes they have to have an in-person teacher. Say it again.
I think it's like cultural too, I mean, I don't know how common it is in the American culture to, I don't know. I mean, it seems that there's a little bit of like hesitancy, like with, because in my culture,
Yeah.
teachers, like in dance, that's how they transmit that knowledge, you know.
Right.
That's how you learn. I mean, it's impossible to learn it in any other way, and it's like your teacher is your guru in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But I don't see that happening here as much, you know.
Well, I think that
Known.
in this culture, it's a little bit tricky because we're all about personal freedom. You know, like personal freedom is a huge thing. So if you start to study with a teacher who's really, for me personally, if I start to study with a teacher who is very, very strict, a lot of times I'm like, okay, that doesn't really work for me. I appreciate all the information you gave me. I'm going to go look elsewhere. And that's definitely not part of the tradition. But, you know, yoga changes, tradition changes. Like Krishnamacharya, he was really open to teaching all castes of people, and both, you know, any gender of people, and many people who were his peers were not open to those ideas yet. And he thought that yoga, he was like, yoga is not religion. Yoga does not need to follow all of the old, I'm so warm now, all of the old rules. It needs to transform as we transform. So I kind of feel like maybe I don't have as many like crazy, miraculous, esoteric, magical, mind-bending, psychedelic. I don't have those experiences. I don't have those huge experiences like we read about in this book, or like Milk Bubba would tell me about, or like, you know, other people have told me various stories. But I do feel like I have this very consistent, ongoing, creative confidence. So it's a little bit of a different, it's like what Swami Satchidananda talked about as walking samadhi. I do think that everyone, I know this is really, I may have to adjust my view, but I'm still on this. I do think everyone is enlightened and they're trying their best. I know it's hard to believe, so I'm just not going to challenge that belief right now because I don't have time. I don't have an interest. But so I feel like what yoga practice is giving us who are raised in this incredibly, even just the language. Oh my gosh, did anyone watch that TED Talk by, I don't remember the woman's name. Anyway, there's a woman that was doing a TED Talk on language. You have it, Gina?
Lyra Badaskinsky or something like that?
Yeah, Lyra. Lyra is her first name. You're right. Her last name was long.
Badadinsky or something.
Badadinsky.
Yeah.
There were a lot of syllables in it. Anyway, that video is really worth watching because it's a whole video by a scientist instead of a random person. It's a whole video about how language forms how we see the world and how we operate in the world. And she gave 4 really concrete, scientifically studied examples. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. So my favorite example was the Aborigine people in Australia. When they say hello, they say, "Where are you going?" And your answer is, "I am going northwest a short distance," right? And then they say, "And how are you?" which means, "Where are you going?" And then that person says, "Oh, I'm going northwest a long distance. Let's walk together and chat," or something. I don't know what they say. It's hypothetical. So anyway, even little kids, when they say hello, they say which way they're facing. Like they say which way they're facing and if they're headed anywhere. So then she said to the crowd, can anyone tell me, you know, which direction is east? And, you know, people in the audience are like pointing all over the place. And then she's like, of course, everyone's expecting her to tell them which way is east because now we're all curious, right? And she's like, "Well, I don't know either, and you weren't helpful." I thought that was really funny that she played a joke on them. And then, you know, she was saying, like, in our culture, especially the people attending TED Talks tend to be very highly educated. And she was saying, you know, a really amazingly, phenomenally educated group of people don't know what 4 or 5-year-olds know in Australia, in the outback. And just how we speak really the language we speak really matters in what we notice. Another example was in Russia, there's a word for dark blue and there's a word for light blue. They're very different things. Just like we have a word for green and a word for blue. They're very different things. So then they did a study of, you know, how, like they would change the color, like you'd name the color, then they'd swirl it into another color. And people who speak Russian, who obviously see this differentiation since they were children, they have like a surprise when it changes from light blue to dark blue, like, oh, that's obviously a different thing. But then we don't, because we call that whole spectrum one name. So anyway, so I think language really, really matters. So it is cultural, and English is very, very self-centered. Like part of the whole thing with the Aboriginal culture is when they talk about, when they organize something having to do with time, if they are facing east, which I am lucky enough to be facing east right now, if they're facing east, then they organize it that it's coming this way. If they're facing south, it goes this way. If they're, and this is like, you know, they could be organizing photographs like a 4-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 30-year-old, an old person, something like that. And if they're going this way, then it's coming from behind them. And if they're facing north, then it's coming this way. So time is set on the landscape. Time and direction are set on the landscape. And they are like Pac-Man, moving around the landscape, where we are like, because of our language, I'm not saying that we're all, you know, egotists. However, we might be because of our language. We're like, you know, left, right, like things come off of us. My idea, me, I, our language, it manipulates time and location having to do with me as the point, right? So taking that over to like the idea of guru and stuff, people were finding that leaders were corrupt. So then they were like, fuck leaders, critical thinking, scientific method. And critical thinking and scientific method are super cool and they're super important. And they will also drive a divide between me and anything I have an opinion about, which I have been practicing having opinions. If I didn't have an opinion, I would be in trouble, right? Like all the time, like, oh, what do you think about this? Or here, take this test. You have to have an opinion to answer any test questions. I started taking tests when I was 6 years old. And they would stress me out because I didn't want to get anything wrong and I didn't know the answer. So that was kind of a bind. But I mean, I knew some of the answers, but anyway, so just the language and just the culture really do change how we can relate to our families or to our history or to our teachers. And in a lot of cases, that has saved us suffering because some of the family members, some of the teachers, some of, you know, like not everyone is peaceful and loving. Some people are not.
I want to chime in.
Great.
I feel like as a teacher, I think about this a lot. I think about like, what am I doing? What's my role? What's the whole purpose of this exercise where people pay me to teach other people something and students expect me to teach them something? Like, what does it really mean to be a teacher? And I teach college, so I think I think this applies across the board to some extent, but I acknowledge that this might be specific to adults, adult students. But when I first started teaching, I was, which was a long time ago, I was really thought teaching was about the material. Like I really thought it was about information. And I think that's what most students think it's about too, especially, you know, people who are new to the process. Like they think, and this is part of how our culture mostly conditions students, that being a student is a super passive process, and you sit there and this other person gives you something, and what they're giving you is something called information. But over the last couple of decades, I've realized I don't think that's what it is at all. I think that teaching is ultimately facilitating something. I mean, it does, you are using information, but it's really about a conversation. It's real, because here's what I know this as a student. Most students aren't going to remember anything you give them. They're not going to remember any content from your classroom. What they will remember, if you're lucky, is the relationship you had with them. And it's the relationship that hopefully is a vehicle for cognitive change, for thinking. And I think teaching, good teaching for me, like the difference between a guru and a teacher, and I'm not a guru by any means, but is, well, maybe there's not a difference. It's something about trusting, it's trusting the students to think and to bring their own meaning to whatever it is you're talking about. You know, it's not about correcting them, and it's not, I mean, unless they're like really off the path and they think, you know, love is about abuse or something like that. I mean, unless they're just super confused, it's really about inviting them to think and that's what we do here on Saturdays. You know, we do it all the time. It's not just about like, what is triangle or what is this particular yama about? It's more than that, because that stuff is easy to get. You can just read that in a book. But a teacher is somebody who invites you to participate and think and contribute and sometimes criticize. And I don't know, I'm not articulating it well.
Yeah, you are.
I think it's a process that happens through a relationship. And hopefully it's a transformational process. For me, it's in cognition, but it might also be in emotion if it's a therapeutic relationship, for example. And all of that trickles down into behavior, I think. But I don't know. I think about this so much. Obviously, I still have not gotten entirely clear on it. But anyway.
Thank you, Gina. That was really insightful. Thank you.
Nice.
Beautiful. How you said that makes me think about how the animals in our lives can be our teachers too.
Mm-hmm.
We have so much access to information right now that it's so easy to be a consumer, right? So I think about those things too. And maybe what you say, Gina, is the right thing. You know, it's about the relationships that bring to a different level. Yes.
I think a lot of it is about making connections. Like as a teacher, you're teaching students how to make connections between pieces of information that might seem completely unrelated. And I think that having a connection is important. Like having an interpersonal connection is important in teaching them how to make connections between other things.
I like Mark Whitwell's take on teaching. He's like, we're all friends and nothing more. We're just friends. Like there's no hierarchy. There's no, you know, I'm holding on to something. I might give it to you later. Like when I don't study with him, but I do like what he says about teaching and sharing information and how people are equal and how it's all right there. And I kind of feel like when I think about it, I have the freedom to be as weird or as normal or as strange or as average as I want to be. Like I can be anything I want to be, and that is an immense freedom. And then I'm also willing to share that, and you guys have that exact same opportunity. So you're like experimenting with topics and things and becoming chefs and opening businesses and like mastering horse jumping or whatever. Like you're working on things that I'm not working on, and then you have that, and I can like I can kind of feel it through you, and I don't know, it's just nice. That didn't go anywhere in language, but it did mean I can't even handle how much I love us.
Kathy, one of the things you do that I've sort of adopted in my teaching, because I think in 2 words, it conveys this exact sentiment that you just conveyed. Sometimes you say questions, answers, and the idea that you as the student might hold the answer really is surprising to so many people, you know, that they might have the answer, they might have an insight, they might be able to make a contribution, and be able to shake students out of the role that they're a student, that they're, you know, and that instead they're a participant in this bigger conversation.
Yeah.
And that's the transformation that I at least hope to see, like across 4 years, if I have the same students over 4 years, is that they don't come in saying, is this going to be on the, or they come in saying, is this going to be on the test? And then when they, you know, after a couple of years, that's not even important.
After a couple of years, they're like, hey, look, I made this test. Want to use it?
Right. Yeah, that's just not important to them anymore. They're not coming to class for answers. They're not coming to class for information. They're coming to class because
Thank God.
same reason, right? Because I got nothing. They're coming to class for the same reason we come here on Saturday, and it's just to engage and to be active and to relate and to be happy. And you know, it's magical to be in a good class.
Yeah, it is.
I saw recently a doctor speaking about like how he deals with patients like searching their symptoms on WebMD, and you know that's kind of the situation that like a lot of the time doctors get really frustrated with people kind of coming in with their own ideas of what their diagnosis might be. And he was just like, yeah, like one of the things that I do with my patients, if it seems like that's the case, is I ask them like, what do you think it is? And that one can sometimes make him consider something that he wouldn't have otherwise, and 2, like allows patients to feel engaged in their own health, and he can either give them reasons why he doesn't think that that's the case so that he can allay their concerns about it, or that can help guide him towards a diagnosis that he maybe wouldn't have even considered, but it like makes patients feel much more listened to and engaged in their own health, and that's like ultimately way more beneficial. And it's the same thing of just like kind of not being super rigid about that line of like, no, I'm the doctor and you're the patient and I have information that you don't have, and like giving more of a mutual respect and like understanding that like people aren't medical experts, but they are the experts of their own experience.
I like that.
Me
A
too.
lot.
Can I say something, Kath? To go off of that, I feel like, thank you for speaking, Claire. You brought it right back to that trifecta, man. When I was in Downward Dog, you were talking about the different bandhas and everything, and talking about personal health. That's what I feel like the yoga is all about. So thank you, Kathy, for just being here every time. It's like, what do you do on Saturday? Well, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I love being here. Anybody else? Anything to chime in?
Claire, just on what you were just talking about, I find that in my days, I help people decide on birth control methods and things like that. And part of our training is that, people have the most success with their bodies and their health goals if they do 78% of the talking during that conversation or whatever that is. And, I just feel like if all medicine and all practices were similar to that, people would have so much more success and ownership over their own beings. So that's so cool. Like, I love to hear that, that there's more providers practicing that way, because I feel like it just makes freaking sense. Like, the doctor spends 17 minutes with a patient, and the patient is them in their body all the time. So why not start with like, hey, what's going on? What do you think is going on? And then I'll use my knowledge that I learned in school, and we can kind of put it together. So that's so cool. I love to hear about that. Really resonated.
Can
Is
I
that really true, 78%?
It's around there. It's like we're supposed to talk, less than half the time and lob open-ended questions, and they're supposed to talk at us more, kind of thing. Yeah, I'll get the number for you.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a funny story that's related to this? When I first injured my knee about a year ago, I thought I had a Baker's cyst behind it. So I went to see my primary care physician, who I love. And there was a medical student who was shadowing her that day for 3 months or something, doing her clinical rounds. And the medical student, took all my symptoms at the beginning. And I said to her, listen, I think this is a Baker's cyst, and I really want her to just like go for it and drain it. Like, that's what I want her to do. And so I got this medical student really behind me. She was really on my side. She's like, okay, So she went off and got my physician, who came back in. And the first thing she said, she goes, Gina, I'm not sticking a needle in your knee. And I said, come on, Jen, you're a doctor. Like, just go for it. I'm so uncomfortable. I trust you. I have confidence. And I'm pretty sure this is what it is. I've been reading a lot about this. And she said, I'm not confident enough to stick a needle in your knee. I'm sending you to an orthopedic. And anyway, she was right. It was not that. So sometimes, even as much as you take ownership over your care, you're wrong. It's just a good thing to remember.
But the advocation was there, Gina. The advocation was there the whole time, which is good.
It was, yeah, and it was so funny that the student went in and told her, here's what the patient.
You're so persuasive. Of course, that student. I would have been like, shit, I'll do this right now. Like,
Talked her into it for sure.
Awesome. Anybody else?
Emily, I just wanted to ask, where do you work? What do you do? You're in healthcare, obviously.
Yeah. I'm at Planned Parenthood in Burlington, clinical healthcare associate down there.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
Mini healthcare.
And she teaches yoga to the other people who work there.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And now they have yoga straps.
Thanks to
Tell
Kathy.
me if you need more. If anybody needs yoga straps, I'll drop one off to you, or more than one. Anyway, thanks for hanging out today.
Thanks for the best Saturday mornings, everybody.
Thank you. I think we'll just keep doing this half and half.
I love it. Personally.
Definitely through February, maybe through March.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, Amelia. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Eliza. Love you guys. Thank you, Marga. Thank you, Maureen. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Erica. I love you.
Bye.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
Can I tell